I'm FD517. What happened to the other 516 FDs? Don't worry about it. Today I'm going to tell you about a fun new way to Masuda hunt in Scarlet and Violet that has made egg hatching more exciting for me. In the past, I've had trouble both on and off stream deciding what to hunt because there are so many options. But now, because of how picnics work in Scarlet and Violet, I don't have to make that decision. I'm going to show you what I call the Mystery Masuda method. This breathes new life into a classic shiny hunting method and can add extra fun for both yourself and your audience if you're a streamer. Couple disclaimers up front. This requires more setup than a regular Masuda hunt in Scarlet and Violet. This will not increase odds more than the standard 1 out of 512 Masuda odds. Basically, you're doing more work for a more rewarding payoff. If you're not interested in that, I get it. Let's get some definitions out of the way first. Breeder. The breeder is the main Pokemon of the egg gathering. That's going to be the one that's going to father all the eggs. The target is any Pokemon that you're hoping to hatch a shiny version. Masuda, as you know, it's a method in which shiny rate drops from to 1 in 683 without the charm, or 1 in 512 with the charm, by breeding two Pokemon with different native languages, also known as foreign Pokemon. Picnic, that's the new method of how to get eggs in Scarlet and Violet. Egg check. In the back-end coding of the game, it will periodically do a check to see if it's going to spawn an egg. Egg power, that's the increased rate of egg checks, which in this game is based off of a type of sandwich that you make within the picnic. Egg steps, that's the number of eggs needed to hatch the egg. Flame body is the most common ability used to cut the needed egg steps in half. Within Scarlet and Violet, Fletchinder or Talonflame is a pretty easy one to get and most commonly used. And just as a reminder, this is for fun only. It will not increase shiny odds more than any standard Masuda hunt and actually takes longer to collect eggs. I'm saying that up front. I know people are going to be upset about that. All right, so how do we do it? First off, it's Masuda. You're going to need a foreign language mon as your breeder. Ditto is the most common foreign language Pokemon used in Masuda hunting, but it doesn't need to be. But if you're not using a Ditto, make sure that your breeder is male. If you are using Ditto, all the targets have to be of the same gender or genderless, or not have any overlapping egg groups. So you can't have more than one target that's a water 1 egg group or a water 2 egg group or humanoid or field egg group, etc. And if you're not using Ditto, all the targets have to be female. Regardless of what you're using, Ditto or not Ditto, the easiest way to do this is have all the targets be female. If you don't do this, if you don't follow those steps, it is possible that the targets will breed with each other instead of with the breeder. And that's going to cause problems. That's going to lose you your Masuda shiny chances. You're going to end up going back to a 1 in 4096 or 1 in 1365 with the charm. So you don't want to do that. All right, and you want to choose targets within the same egg step group so that all the eggs will hatch at the same time. What I mean by that is if you have one target that takes about 2,000 steps to hatch, and you have another target that takes about 10,000 steps to hatch, you could end up hatching 2 out of your 5 eggs, and then you're waiting around forever for the other 3. It just really breaks up the rhythm. So try and make sure all your targets are within that same egg step group. And this is going to require an egg power level 2 minimum from the sandwiches because we're going to decrease the egg spawns that's within that's how this method works, which just flat out we're going to decrease the number of egg spawns. So you want to make sure your egg power is up so it doesn't take too absurdly long to do. All right, so what is it we're talking about here? First, let's start with a standard Masuda hunt. Okay? The standard Masuda hunt, you have 2 Pokemon. You have your foreign Pokemon, most commonly Ditto, and you have your target. So whenever the game does an egg check, it matches up the Pokemon that are in your party, 1 and 2, foreign Pokemon and target. That match happens 100% of the time whenever there's an egg check, and it will give you the egg. That's how it works. That's how people have been collecting eggs. And of course, with the egg power, you can increase the number of egg checks and get the eggs quicker. Now, what happens if you add a third Pokemon in your party? In that case, you're doing it with 2 targets. This is still 1 out of 512. These are all 1 out of 512 if you have the charm. So if you have 2 targets, now here's what you got. You got 1 foreign Pokemon 2, target A, and 3, target B. So when the game does that egg check, it'll either match up 1 and 2, 1 and 3, or 2 and 3. So there's 3 different ways it can check for the breedability. If it's 1 and 2, if it's your foreign Pokemon and target A, you're going to get an egg. If it's 1 and 3, if it's your foreign Pokemon and target B, you're going to get an egg. However, 1 out of 3 checks, it's going to match up target A and target B. Those two are not compatible because they're the same gender or they're not in the same egg group or anything else that we talked about earlier, and you will not get an egg. So what that means is compared to the standard foreign Pokemon and target Masuda Hunt, you're going to get 66.7% of the egg spawns. So in other words, by doing it this way, you're going to lose a third of your egg spawns. And of those eggs you get, half of them will be target B, half of them will be target A. I don't know why I said it backwards, that just happens sometimes. So basically every egg has a 50-50 chance of whether it's going to be target A or target B. Let's take it a step further. Let's make it 3 targets. Again, 1 out of 5, 12 with the charm. So you have your foreign Pokemon, that's number 1. Number 2, you have target A. Number 3, you have target B. Number 4, you have target C. Those are the 4 Pokemon in your party when you go into the picnic. Same deal here when it does the egg check. It'll either be 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, or 3 and 4. So out of that, the 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and 1 and 4, which is foreign Pokemon with target A, target B, or target C, will give you an egg. If they match up target A and target B, target A and target C, or target B and target C, there will be no egg. So of the 6 possible combinations, 3 of them will give you an egg, 3 of them will not give you an egg. So compared to a standard Masuda Hunt, this will give you a spawn half of the time. So basically double the amount of time it takes to collect eggs. This is where you want to make sure you have the egg power going in. This is where you are doing more of a setup for more of a payoff down the road. And when you get those eggs, each one of those eggs has a 33.3% chance of being target A, target B, or target C. Let's take it even a step further. Let's do 4 targets. So now you have 5 Pokemon in your party. Your foreign Pokemon, target A, target B, target C, target D. You can see right here the chances. Each one of the chances are 10%. There's 10 possible combinations. And of those 10, only 4, foreign Pokemon in target A, foreign Pokemon target B, foreign Pokemon target C, and foreign Pokemon target D will give you an egg. The other 6 checks, the other 6 combinations will not give you an egg. So compared to a regular foreign and target Masuda Hunt, this will spawn 40% as many eggs. And each egg has a 25% chance of being target A, B, C, or D. Finally, if we throw 5 Pokemon in there, we now have 5 targets. So you got 6 total Pokemon in your party. Foreign Pokemon, target A, target B, target C, target D, target E, right? There is a total of 15 possible combinations. Of those 15, 5 of them will produce an egg. Foreign Pokemon in target A, target B, target C, or target D. All the other combinations will not give you an egg. So this is a 33.3% egg spawn, which means you will get a third of the eggs, as you would if you were just doing foreign Pokemon and your target. And each one of those eggs will be a 20% chance. So I know what you're saying at this point. Hefty, you just spent a whole lot of time telling me that if I do this method, I'm going to get a lot less eggs. What is wrong with you? There's a lot wrong with me. I don't have enough time to go into all of that. But you're right. This whole method I just explained, all the way through 5 targets, will basically triple the amount of time it takes to collect eggs. So why do we do this? We do it for fun. Because here's the thing. I would be so excited to go into a Masuda hunt with a couple hundred eggs, each one of those eggs having 1 in 512 odds. And I go on stream and I got people watching and we're going to start hatching eggs. We're going to get that shiny. What is the shiny going to be? I have no idea. It's going to be one of those 5 targets, I can tell you that. But it adds a level of thrill, of excitement, of anticipation. What are we going to get? That's why I do it. It does take more time to set up beforehand to collect all the eggs, but in the end, I think it's a lot of fun. And just imagine this. Imagine if I was streaming right now and we're about to hatch some eggs, and here we go. Here we go. Here comes the first egg about ready to hatch. What's it going to be? We don't know. It's going to be one of the 5 targets, but we don't know what this egg is going to be. What is it going to be? It's a Quaxley. Okay, we got a Quaxley, a non-shiny Quaxley in that egg. Okay, so what's the next egg going to be? What are we going to hatch next? We don't know. We don't know. It could be a Quaxley. It could be something else. Is it going to be shiny? I don't know. We don't know what it's going to be, let alone if it's going to be shiny. And it's a shiny Sprigatito. It's imagine that's a shiny Sprigatito. The first egg was a Quaxley. The second one, incredible. We got a shiny. This is a rare shiny Sprigatito that has red eyes. You don't see this very often. It's actually rarer than a regular shiny. But just imagine that. Imagine that for yourself. Imagine that for your audience. For me, and maybe I'm crazy that I haven't ruled that out. For me, that excitement, that thrill is worth spending a little bit more time collecting eggs in order to do that on stream. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm expecting to get a lot of comments telling me I'm stupid. You wouldn't be the first, but if you are interested in this, please try it out. We did it today on stream and it was a lot of fun. We had no idea what we were going to hatch. We didn't get any shinies today, but we're going to keep going with it. But I'm going to wrap it up here because I have to spend a lot of time collecting eggs now. If you enjoyed this, please click the like button. Think about hitting subscribe. Leave me a comment telling me how brilliant or insane you think this idea is, and I will check you on the next one. See ya.